Welcome to Our Drummers Musicians. I'm your host Luke, and today I'm sitting down with the incredible Michaela Jayde, a powerhouse soul and R&B artist, dynamic performer, and an absolute force in Melbourne's music scene. Michaela's voice is something else. She's worked with Tones and I, Stan Walker, Jerome Farah, Kylie Auldist, Ben Abraham, Thndo, WILSN, and many more. In this episode, we talk with her about her purpose in music, why she went on a singing competition TV show, and how that experience shaped her, both the positive impact and the challenges of navigating music as a competition. We also discuss her viral moment, posting a cover online and then getting the chance to sing live with Teddy Swims. We also discuss growing up in a musical family, studying music and being inspired by Erykah Badu, Ella Fitzgerald, Aretha Franklin, and Donny Hathaway. Michaela also has a deep love for vocal technique. She's a self-proclaimed BV nerd, or backing vocal nerd, and we break down the craft of harmonies, supporting other artists, and the technical side of singing. Plus, we talk about motherhood, tribute shows, and her journey towards releasing original music. Michaela is such a warm, inspiring presence, and this conversation was an absolute joy. I hope you enjoy it too. Thanks so much for doing this.
Yay! Thank you so much for having me.
It's so nice to see you, especially because I feel like you've been in the public eye so much more the last couple of years.
It's been crazy, yeah.
Yeah. How does one cope with that?
Well, it's funny because you say public eye, but I kind of don't really feel like I've been in the public eye. I don't know, maybe because I downplay it for myself, or I don't know. I kind of feel like not much has changed, or I haven't really even had that much exposure. I know at the time I felt like, this is definitely gonna help reach a few more people that I wasn't able to reach before, it was true in the moment. But those kinds of going on shows like that, those kind of big bursty moments are very fleeting. And to be honest, if I'm going to be really honest, one of the things that I guess one of the reasons that I was happy to kind of go on the show in the end was because I knew it was fleeting, and I knew, because I'm never one of those people that wanted to be really wildly famous, and especially not an overnight type of thing. I never wanted to try and catapult myself into this crazy new world of fame and the public eye. That was never my thing, and that's why I've been doing music for so long without even pursuing anything of that nature ever. But after doing my own music career for a long time, and then seeing how other people have gone through the process and used it to their benefit without having all that crazy fame attached. Some people have had a lot of fame follow them after, which is great for them. But some people haven't. In a good way, I was like, oh, okay, so maybe I can just use it as an advantage type of thing to just reach certain people that I wouldn't have been able to reach before, but without the burden of having all of this crazy fame, which you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think I kind of feel like it was a nice little balance.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good that it feels that way. That it was with a purpose. So all right, I can use it like this, and I know the industry like this, and how can I make it work for me?
Absolutely. Just taking advantage of it's a resource that you can use. It's like we use social media to promote our work. In this day and age, we have to. And this was a big leap, that kind of a big extension of social media. It's kind of just whoever responds, to your work and whatever, they'll follow you. If people don't like you, they won't follow you. And that's fine. I didn't go on there to win. I went on there to literally just be put in front of people that wouldn't have had access to me before.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What's it like doing a vocal performance that's a competition rather than just you've spent your whole life singing, and now it's
See, that's the other thing.
Like an athlete, get in the ring and, you know, fight it out. It's so like...
Yeah, and the difference between, I guess, most athletes and singing is that with athletes and most sports, it in its nature, it's competitive. Whereas with singing and me, like philosophically as a creative and as a singer, as a musician, I've always been against competitive singing or competitive, like, you know, using that in that way, in that context. So that's another reason why I never wanted to sign up for those shows for a really long time. And then I guess it shifted for me, not the attitude towards competitive singing, but the attitude just towards the whole, like, just putting myself in a platform. When I just decided to not see it as a competition, and I just went, you know what, I'm just gonna just have fun. I'm just gonna sing and learn and grow as a performer and just connect, make new friendships, connect with other musicians and singers that are there. And that's exactly what happened. Like, one of my favorite parts of the whole process was the people that I met, the friends we made along the way. Sounds so cheesy, but it's actually true. And like, some of my best friends have come from it. And that was really cool.
I guess that's like the personal element of it, right?
Totally. Like, yeah.
It doesn't matter like about the, like, you know, screen time or, you know, production, this and stuff. It's like, oh no, actually it was a real life experience that you had with other people and other musicians and
singing, in terms of the actual singing and the performances, I've grown up in, like, and even in all my professional life has been spent performing very organically with real live musicians, in like live contexts where you have that kind of energy exchange with your audience members and you're creating art in real time, which, you know, is something that I always find really profound about the live music experience. And even if you're recording in a studio session, whatever, which I also love, that's also like you're creating magic. It's kind of a really cool thing. But performing on a TV stage where it's very controlled environment, it's so different to that organic live experience. And because it is in a competitive environment as well, and you only have like a 60-second song to try and impress the judges or impress the coaches, you know. So that kind of singing, it does change the way that you approach performance, which is really was kind of hard to wrap my head around, because all I wanted to do was just like, I just wanted to like jam and like sing and connect with the audience, but it's like it was the priority was very much just performance and TV and I'm like, okay, well in that sense it showed me a whole new side of like TV production and performing in that context. So I was like, that's something I would never usually have exposure to, and I didn't love it as much as live performance, but I know that for some careers it's necessary, and depending on what career trajectory you go on, take the competition out of it, but just in terms of the cameras and the TV and the controlled environment of production, sometimes you do need to learn how to perform in that environment. So I was like, at least I learned it. At least I cut my teeth in that environment, and if those skills are ever needed again, now I know.
Have you always been so like methodical and deliberate about your career as a singer? Like, okay, if I do this, then I can get to there, and like you describe, all right, well, I went on this show so that I could meet some different people and put myself out into like a different audience. Were you always thinking like strategically about like a career as a musician?
I think there's a difference in like, I'm strategic, but I'm not measured and ambitious in terms of, I'm not like this crazy businesswoman that is like driven to like put myself out there and try and be like this artist, which I don't know, can be a negative thing as well, for better or for worse. My focus has always been just the music itself, the art itself, and just performing and connecting with people. That's my favorite thing. I love to sing. I love playing with musicians and connecting with the people that I'm playing with, but also connecting with the people who are listening to the music and engaging from that perspective. That's always been my biggest thing. And the career and industry part of it has always just been so off-putting for me. So in terms of being strategic in a sense of, you know, taking measures of every single step and planning out each step or thinking 10 steps ahead, that's always been a struggle for me. But in saying that, I have tried to be intentional with different moves that I've made. And it's taken different forms over the years, but
What are you
that
being?
answers the question.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just close this window.
Oh yeah.
The bird chirping is nice, but maybe slightly distracting. While we're on like fame and social media and you know, corporate metrics, what was it like? You know, using your Instagram to get the Teddy Swims gig.
Oh, that was so cool.
What a journey.
That was wild. I'm going to be honest with you. I still don't know how that happened. I'm like, that was just so, it was so organic. And I think one of the advantages that I had that I played on was the fact that he was already following me on Instagram.
Okay.
I suppose from a previous cover or something. I don't know why. I don't know. Anyway. And I also know that he's the type of artist, because he kind of came up grassroots himself. He engages with his followers and he's very uplifting of his followers and of his supporters. So I love that about him. He's so down to earth. And because of that, I was like, there is no chance that this is going to work. But if there's any chance of connecting, there might, like, I really genuinely did not think that there was any chance. So I put up a one reel to start off with of me singing a Lose Control cover. And I said in the caption, day one of me trying to convince Teddy Swims, blah, blah, blah. But I actually never intended to do a series. I never intended to do day two or anything. I was just like, I said day one as like, because I know that that's what people do sometimes.
Yep. Jump on the trend.
I was like, I want to just jump on this trend. Day one. So people think it's like some like thing that I'm hyping up. And I'm like, I got no time for this. So I just did that. And that didn't land anywhere. He didn't like it. Like I don't think he even saw it. Like I tagged him and everything. There was no interaction from him. I'm like, cool, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. And then funnily enough, this is actually the story of how day two came out, because I had a really tired day from teaching all day one day from work. And I just had an extra raspy voice. I think I was getting sick or something. And sometimes I like to record covers when I have a raspy voice, just because I like to take advantage of the rasp. And I'm like, this is kind of a cool sound. And so I was like, oh, what's a cool cover that I can do with this rasp? How can I lean into this? And I was like, oh, Teddy Swims, of course. I'm like, wait a second, I've already done day one. Maybe I'll just do this as a day two. So I did a day two of Teddy Swims, and then like that was the one that got his attention. He shared that to his story. And when he shared that to his story, I was like, great, that's all I needed. That was it. And I thought that was that chapter closed. I was like, he shared, that's all I needed. He commented, liked, whatever, shared it, and my work here is done. So that felt really, really cool. But then later that night, he DM'd me, slipped into my DMs, and he's like, so how about it? Do you want to sing that song with me in Melbourne? And I was like, what? I always fell to the floor. It was crazy, yeah.
So cool. Well done. Like, congratulations.
Thank you.
And very well deserved. Like,
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. You have an amazing voice.
Oh, thank you. That's really nice. It was like I said, I did not expect it. I didn't think it was going to work. But he was very gracious, so it worked.
How did it feel to, do the show?
I got to say, it felt way more comfortable than I ever imagined.
Mm-hmm.
He was so great to sing with. Even from the sound check, I mean, I felt like I was at home getting up on that stage. That's not a reflection of me feeling like I'm so great. It's all like the way that the environment that he set up and the way he made me feel getting up there. I just felt like it was the most exhilarating experience. But I was just like I just felt good. Like, I don't know. It was such a beautiful, and also full circle moment because, I mean, I've been a Teddy Swims fan for a long time, but when his album came out, I've Tried Everything But Therapy, Part 1, when that full record came out, I remember the day that it came out on Spotify because that was the first way to listen to it. I mean, we ordered the vinyl, but that hadn't arrived yet. So I listened to it, and the first track that opens the record was that song, Some Things I'll Never Know. And I remember, I mean, I've told this story on my Instagram, but I remember sitting at our kitchen table with that, playing through our speakers, and I just sat there just crying. It just moved me. And every time that I listened to it after that for like the next, I don't know, however many times that I listened to the album after that, the following days, every time that song came on, I would cry.
Wow.
It just moved me. It was just, I don't know, just his voice, the warmth in the piano and the lyrics. Obviously, the lyrics are so just stunning. And so to sing that with him felt like a full circle moment. It was cool.
How special. Do you think that like all your experience like as a professional singer, like, you say, like, I was really interested that you said like it felt like so comfortable, because in my mind I'm like, well, of course, like, you sing on stages like all the time, of all different stages, like small to stadium shows and stuff. Like, it's like, you do it for work. It's not always like your name on the poster, but like even when you're singing VBs, you're still like, on a big stage. Was it like, did you have some anxiety around it because it was like, I don't know, different, or the social media was involved, or like because it was an idol?
I just couldn't wait to get up there.
Yeah, cool.
I don't know, like I was so much more nervous about my blind audition for The Voice. Like
really?
That, yeah, 100%. I had so much anxiety because I knew that was going to be like cemented in like TV history on YouTube forever. Like the performance that I do right now, like this is it. And also I was really sick leading up to my blind audition, like really, really sick, like could barely, and then, but anyway, that's a whole other story. So I think that added to my anxiety. But as a general thing, I was more nervous even for all of my voice performances. And I guess because of the pressure, I was competing, which I hated that feeling. I was being compared with other people, which I also hate. I'm like, this is not what singing is about. And because I think there was a part of me on The Voice, and this isn't a dig at the show, but it's just my own personal experience that because it goes like, it just felt like it was opposing my my core philosophy as a singer. Like, just that music is about uniting and bringing together and like working together towards something, but being in competition and being compared felt unnatural, which it is. But I think that was the difference, is that the Teddy Swims thing was all about like, it was just community, and I think that's why, because it was just that beautiful, that's what singing is about to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just that, even like the sense that there was this big artist doing an arena show, an arena tour, who asked a very small artist to sing with him. Like, that was a beautiful thing. And I was like, you know what, like that, I don't know.
Yeah. It's lovely. And like, what a great opportunity. And the human connection that comes from that too.
Totally. Yeah.
Well, you come from like this family of amazing musicians.
They're pretty crazy, I admit. Yes.
What was it like growing up, in that household, and, the impact of the music on you?
Full of music. Like the house was always, it was either live instruments or singing, or just music blasting through the house from one family or member or another. And sometimes it was annoying because, like, you know, it's growing up in a family of 7 who all love music and all have to have their voices heard and are practicing for this, that, or the other. It got a little bit overstimulating sometimes. But it was also incredible. And my music education was very diverse. I grew up listening to Chicago and David Foster randomly. I don't know why. Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, and like, I don't know, all these crazy random singers. Like it was a lot of, and also because we grew up in the church, there was a lot of gospel music as well. A lot of church music. So, but it was really diverse. And then, you know, my siblings would learn, they did like piano lessons. So I'd be hearing all these like classical pieces being played on the piano. I didn't learn it. But just growing up amongst all of that was really cool too. But then also getting the opportunity to sing with all my siblings and my parents from a young age, that developed my ear. And so all of us have a particular love for vocal harmony. And I think, I don't know, I would say I like more so than some of the others, maybe, I don't know, was really drawn to particularly like vocal harmony and like vocal arranging. So yeah, that's pretty crazy.
When did you realize like that you could, I don't know, do something with your singing more than just, I don't know, singing at home with all of the family or maybe at church or something like that? I
think I remember this moment when we were in the car driving. I was 7 years old because it stood out to me, and I remember thinking, oh, I was 7 years old, and I remember because I've been singing obviously with my family for forever. You used to sing in like shopping centres together.
Really?
Yeah, Mom and Dad used to dress us up in like matching outfits.
Wow, like Bontrap family band.
Literally. I'm not even joking. We used to sing in like Christmas shows or just literal shopping centre performances. Just, you know, I don't know how or why. Forest Hill Chase was one of them randomly. And we used to just perform like in harmonies and stuff. So I was always singing from a really young age, but there was this moment when I was 7 and I was singing in the car, and I just had this, like, I don't know, we must have been playing a tape or something in the car. I can't even remember what song it was, but I just had this like outlet and this outburst of just like really projecting my voice and just like singing out, which for me was a big deal at the time because I was the middle child, right? And Jess and Ben, my 2 older siblings, were always like the lead singers, you know, in the sibling choir. They always got the solos and they were always the feature soloists. So I was always like hidden in, you know, and I was happy to be like, you know, in the background. I was fine as a 7-year-old, but also like for the rest of my childhood. But like, so it was rare for me to just like think of myself like as, you know, my own singer. But I just had this moment of singing out and it felt like this release. And I just like, I was like, oh, like it's like I found my voice for the first time. And I remember my mum just went like, wow. And she made some comment like, wow, like you've really got like your own like big voice. Like you can really sing. And it was just, I've never forgotten it.
Wow.
And from that moment, yes, I went back into the pattern of like, you know, being in my siblings' shadows, which I was happy to be there for whatever reason, but just always having this confidence like, oh no, I reckon like I've got my own voice too.
Yeah.
So I think from that moment it started, and then I went on to study music, like studying it, you know, when I was in school, realizing that I was actually pretty good at actual music theory and like oral skills and the subject of music and being a music student, and then going on to study it after school. And I think that was when I was like, nah, I took ownership of it for myself.
What were you like most inspired by when you were studying music? Were there some vocalists or, you know, musicians that you were like, oh yeah, like this really makes me want to make music like them?
Yeah, I think I had some really key like albums that I used to listen to in that time that transformed me. A couple of them, probably most of them, were Erykah Badu.
Oh, cool.
So Erykah was completely transformative for me. She just opened my eyes to, like, I was just, what is this world that she's created? And like Mama's Gun and Baduism, those two, but also her live one as well, it was really stand up. But those other two were just transformative and like absolutely set me up even on my songwriting journey. And yeah, so that was, she's one of the biggest influences for me, like all time biggest. And also because I went to a school that had a big focus on jazz. I went to Blackburn High School, and I just fell in love with Ella Fitzgerald. Could not get enough of her versions of different things. And so I think between Ella and Erykah, those two kind of, I was like, and it was hard because, you know, there was nothing like that in mainstream, especially in Australia. Because Erykah, she was big in America as well, and there is a neo soul and a soul scene in Melbourne, Australia, but it wasn't like at the forefront of mainstream. And none of my friends were, you know, like, so
no,
it was,
no, not at all.
It was hard for me to think of like pursuing that as a genre, but I was like, this is just what I want to do. So I kind of just had to trust that and follow that. So yeah, that was big for me.
Some pretty like heavy hitting music there. Like,
yeah.
It's cool
absolutely.
though, because it's like, you know, so diverse. Like, you know, the jazz thing and the new soul. What was your like songwriting process like when you started, you know, let's go like post-uni? Post-uni.
I think, again, probably because of my obsession with Erykah Badu, I was really into like how the instruments played their role in the song itself. Like the songwriting wasn't just about the melody and the lyrics, although I'm a very big believer in the power of simple melody and lyrics, and that, like, if you can play a song, you know, on one instrument, it's a great song, whatever. Like, that's something that my dad would always say. But I also loved the character in itself of instruments. So I would often start my songwriting process with a bass line. Like, I'd write a bass line.
Cool.
And I remember one of the songs that I actually played in my original set started off in a uni assignment. We had to create a song on Logic, and it started off with me just playing a bass line. But that happened a few times with a few different songs. Mm-hmm. So you probably, like, if you hear a few of my originals, there's like melodic bass lines, and like that kind of drives the groove for me. And then I build like chords on top of that. And then often, funnily enough, the theme of the lyrics doesn't come until later, because I like to kind of feel the track first. Yeah, for some of those songs.
Yeah, cool.
So that's for those types of songs. That's how they build. Of course, every song's going to have a different formation, kind of story. There are some other songs that start with the intention of the lyrics, and I'm just like, I have to write about this. And so I start with my lyrics, or at least my subject matter, and I think about the mood of how I want to present that, what kind of voice I want to give to this story. And so then I'll like sit with it for a little bit. I'll play around with some chords on the piano, or play around with some bassline ideas. For me, it's always a bass. I don't know why. Come up with some melodic ideas or whatever. That fit the mood and that lock in, that help to tell the story of whatever subject it is. Yeah.
Where are you at with the, like, releasing your own original music now? Because, like, you know, you did an EP and we got a single, and then a few years later,
Listen,
we've got another single.
I
If you're comfortable talking
no,
about it.
I'm very comfortable talking about it because I guess it's an important part of the story to tell. I have so much music there. I have so many originals ready to go, but like not recorded, but just arranged, ready to be recorded.
Mm-hmm.
But it all comes down to money. Like literally, it's so hard to get the money together to invest in my original music. Like, you know, especially like I was, so yes, in 2015 or 2014, like there was the concept of to get an EP recorded, and then the wheels started turning for that. That was great, but of course I got pregnant with my first child, and all that came from that EP was one single, and the rest of it was just put on hold because I did not have the money, time or energy or mental capacity, as any new parent will know, to put out anything else. I was just like, I actually couldn't. And then, yeah, as time went on, I guess it's been a big roundabout journey for me, because as time went on, I was like, I could revisit those recordings and kind of put something out, but then I'm like, it doesn't reflect where I'm at now. So when I went back into the studio in, I think it was 2021, I can't remember when it was, a few years
I think
ago.
so, because this June came out in 22.
Yes. Thank you. I'm glad that you know. I'm glad someone's done their homework. 2021, went back into the studio. I wanted to explore a fresh sound and speak on what I was going through at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And because of, you know, some like kind of heavy kind of anxiety stuff that I was going through, which I suppose everyone was going through, it was a kind of a collective thing, you know, that the world was experiencing. But yeah, I just wanted to write about that. So All or Nothing at All was written out of my fight to push through that anxiety and kind of pursue my passion for music or whatever, I guess. Not despite it or whatever, but it was like, because what I've learned and what I had learned through that time was that I didn't want to see anxiety as like the enemy and as something to like try and push aside and deny, or like fight against, but to work with, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Which was a weird thing, because anyway, that's a whole other part of the story. But it was essentially my point is that I was trying to reflect what I was going through at the time. So that's why it was a fresh single that wasn't part of the initial EP. And now I would love nothing more than to release more music, but I think I have to be I have to give it a little bit more kind of thought in terms of what's next and what I want to represent for where I'm at now.
I suppose it's like part of your intention mindset, like you want to be really, I guess, deliberate about what you're doing next.
Totally. Yeah.
Well, exciting. Maybe we'll check in a couple years, maybe sooner.
It is exciting. Like I've got a track that's there, almost ready to go with another producer. I've been working with Julian Steele. I don't know if you know Julian. Yeah. Multi-instrumentalist, great guy. We've been writing a song together, and that's probably something that's going to be released soon. But who knows as well. We'll see what happens.
How much do you think, like, you know, having a kid right after releasing music, I don't know, did that change sort of how you felt about how you fitted into the scene?
Yeah. If I'm going to be really honest, because I've got 2 kids now, so in that whole period of having the 2 kids, and like that was it meant that it extended it out over a number of years. because, you know, the first became a toddler and then I had a newborn again, and then it just like started again. So I ended up having quite a few years of taking a step back. Not that I wasn't working during that time, but just what I was doing, the nature of what I was doing changed, and my priorities changed and shifted. So I was very much just doing the comfort level gigs and like the backing vocal gigs, which I love genuinely anyway, but I just found safety in that, and I didn't put myself forward as much anymore as like the big soloist artist. And so I think that's probably another reason why I was hesitant to release music for a while there, because I was like, I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel like relevant or whatever, or, you know, I didn't trust my own artistry anymore. I was just second guessing everything, you know, because your identity does kind of shift, I guess, when you have kids, and like ultimately it's for the better. Like for me, you know, I was someone who really wanted to have kids, and I was, you know, I loved being a mum. I love being a mum, and that was it. My priorities shifted to just being mum, and I was very happy with that. I was, you know, but when it came to music, that's when, you know, my confidence was a little bit shattered. But yeah. And then after a while, after a number of years, like my youngest is now 7. So after those kind of initial toddler years and getting through, I started to build up confidence again and start to trust my own voice. So yeah, it took a while, but it was a bit of a journey.
But I guess it's what's got you to where you are now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Despite the like massive challenges, though, I'm sure.
Yeah. No, I agree with that for sure.
What inspired the like Donny Hathaway tribute shows that you do? Because like I'm a massive Donny Hathaway fan, and every time I see some stuff about it, I'm like, oh, it sounds so good. You sound great. The band's awesome.
The band is killer. Oh my
it just looks like so much fun.
That show, I got to say, that is one of my favourite shows to do. I think, when I listen to Donny Hathaway, I get lost in his, like I was talking about Erica before, like the world she creates, same sort of thing with Donny. He just has this power to create a whole world, just with his voice alone, because his voice can tell so many stories. He's got texture. It's a voice that has lived a life, you know what I mean? And you hear that, but then on top of that, he's an absolute master at his craft. His musicianship and his songwriting, but then even for the songs that he flips and he creates as his own, like he covers, but then like all of a sudden it's a Donny Hathaway song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that world that he created, I could live in forever. And I was talking to my husband Bryce about it. He's not a musician, but he's a mega music fan.
Cool.
He loves music. And thankfully we're into similar music, which is great. And we actually had a conversation one day. He actually asked me, like, what's your desert island album? What could you just listen to forever and ever? And both of us individually had the same answer. And it was like Donny Hathaway live, like literally.
Yeah.
And we were just like, well, I'm not saying that because you're saying it, but I like actually agree. So I think that conversation was literally the point where I was like, I just said to him, I was like, man, it would be amazing to just do a Donny Hathaway show, wouldn't it? Or just go to a Donny Hathaway show. And like no one was doing anything like that, because I do an Aretha show as well, but there are other people that do Aretha, and like obviously because she's great, and you know, the people that do those shows are also phenomenal, but I love celebrating her too, so that's great. But when I thought about Donny, I was like, I don't think anyone's doing like like people cover his songs, but there's no dedicated like tribute to him. So I couldn't go see a show of his, like celebrating his music. So I was like, I'll just do one. And so that's how it was born. And yeah, they are my favorite shows. We've done a few of them now, and the band is ridiculous. And yeah, I feel like they're all really beautiful of honouring his legacy, and do a great job of helping create that world as well, which I feel is so important. It's not just playing a chart. It's beyond that, you know?
Yeah. What are you like thinking about when you're performing, like, you know, the Donny Hathaway set or like the Aretha show, when it's not your music, but it is your gig?
Yeah. So I think my priority, the first priority, is number one, honouring the artist and honouring their story and their kind of legacy. So especially I know as soon as you put a show on like that, you can have mega fans. Probably mega fans who know more about those artists than I do, you know, like,
Yep.
So, and I'm fully aware of that and I respect that. And so I make sure to honor that and not make it about me. The show isn't about me. It's not about the band on stage. So we are, like I said before, I'm trying to create that world for them so they can experience, like I wanted to create for them what I wanted as a punter. Like if I was to go to a show, what would I want?
Yes.
But also for people who aren't mega fans, who maybe don't know anything about Donny, I want to introduce them to his world as well. So I want to educate them. So part of the stories, I like to give a bit of background behind the songs, and especially for Donny, it's like, you know, who wrote the songs and the covers, or actually for Aretha too, to be honest. She does a lot of covers as well. So giving a little bit of context and, you know, telling a story through the thread of the set. But at the same time, I happen to be the vehicle representing that music at the time. So I like to put my flavour on it as well as Michaela Jayde. So, you know, arrangement-wise, they're pretty close to the originals. Like we don't usually stray away too much. But in terms of like vocally, I'll do me. But in saying that, I'm also, Donny and Aretha are my two biggest like vocal influences. So when I like sing, I just naturally kind of sing the way, you know, that they do, or the way that they inspire me to. Yeah.
Where did the name Michaela Jayde come from?
Jade is my middle name.
Oh, cool.
So Michaela Jayde always felt like the natural kind of, I guess, extension of just who I am. I didn't want to just do Michaela, and I didn't want to do like Manusama, which was like my maiden name. I think I don't know if there is a big psychological reason behind it. I just think maybe I just liked Michaela Jayde. Manusama, I suppose, held a lot of kind of family history to it, and you know, at the time there was in our community people, everyone knew who we were, probably because we were so many of us and everyone was like performing all the time at school and whatever. So it's like, this is my way to get my own identity and break away from the Manusama name. So yeah, not that I resent it or anything. I just like I don't want people to think that. It was just finding my own identity at the time, I think. And then it was handy because, you know, when I got married, I could still maintain the same name, and yeah, that's the story there.
Yeah. How did you get into the like professional backing vocalist scene?
Well, I think, like I said, because I grew up in a family of singers, and we always used to sing harmony together. And then I went to a school where there was lots of opportunity to sing together as well, lots of like little vocal groups with harmonizing, and I've like always been obsessed with it, I think, and also singing in church a lot as well, doing backing vocals there. When it crossed over into the professional scene, I think it was just a natural progression. One day I actually was just asked by another artist friend to do backing vocals at their show. And then I ended up kind of loving it. And then from there, all these other connections, and obviously my brother, Ben, would ask me to BV for him. And so it was actually just a natural progression of word of mouth, to be really honest. Like, I don't think I ever went out and said, hey, book me for backing or whatever. But I just do it, and it's always just been like that organic connection.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Are there a couple standouts moments that you'd be happy to share from like,
As a backing vocalist?
Yeah.
Oh, so many. A standout memory is probably doing backing vocals for WILSN when she was opening for Alan Stone.
Oh, yeah, cool.
That was pretty cool. And getting to meet Alan as well. Because obviously, I mean, I love Alan Stone. But
and like throwback to like 12 years ago, you've got an old Alan Stone video still on your YouTube.
Yeah, he was my very first cover.
Very first. Yeah,
yeah,
cool.
my first YouTube cover, the big official video cover. Yeah, so that was cool. So yeah, that was a full circle as well. And then so but specifically singing with WILSN has been a really, really cool part of the journey. But that gig was pretty cool. And that it was the Northcote Theatre. That was a really beautiful venue to sing into, to sing at as well. Gosh.
What's your mindset like, doing that? Because we've sort of been like, all right, like, you as an artist and then as the like performer of the tributes, what's it like, stepping onto stage in the backing vocalist role?
I love it. It's a whole other thing. To me, I get to like max out my vocal nerding. I am a little bit of a vocal nerd in terms of like even harmonies, and I love singing parts, and I love the challenge of keeping up with like crazy singers. So like, and I get to work with some like absolute monster singers. And so being able to just like be right there with them and like support them vocally. But like, there's actually a really cool video that WILSN put up. It was like, and the caption was like, when your backing vocalist like synchronizes perfectly with you, and like it was just when you've reached like these notes. I mean, that's the job, but it was just like that moment that was just captured in that moment. It was really, really cool, and I was like, yeah, that's the stuff, that's the juicy stuff that I love. Or when you've got a bunch of backing vocalists with you, and then you all do these really cool harmonies, and you're all locked in like that. I just love that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's cool.
It's awesome. I love seeing like the passion that you have for talking about it too. Like I can just see your eyes light up. And, yeah.
It's not just another job or like something that I'll just do for the money or work. Like I really love it.
All right, we've been playing this little game on the podcast.
Yeah.
Where I get guests to ask questions for the next guest.
Great.
So it's normally just one question.
Yeah.
But I actually have two for you.
Okay.
So this question is from last episode's guest, Braden Becker.
Okay.
Who's this awesome, what does he call it? Doom metal drummer.
Oh, amazing.
When you perform music, what scenery, object, or any visual cue best describes what's going on in your mind?
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, what a question.
What a question. Scenery, object, or visual cue?
Yeah.
Scenery or visual cue. When I perform music? Oh, okay, let me think about what's going on in my mind. Okay, the way that I always like to see performance is an energy exchange.
Okay.
So I don't know what the visual cue is or the object.
Could you describe this energy exchange?
So the energy exchange, because performing is creating art in real time, right? Creating art that people are receiving in real time, I should say. And like as they receive it while I'm creating it, they're feeding back their energy. This is why it's different if you're like in a studio, which I love sessions. I love singing, like, recording sessions and stuff. But you don't get that live feedback from your audience and that live kind of energy that they're receiving and they're kind of giving back, So to me, it's just like this constant, like visual cue. This is genuine. what I see sometimes, like just like like little light beams just being exchanged between each other, because they're receiving, but because they're receiving as I'm creating, it's feeding into what I create next or what I do next. You know, it's driving my next move or my next note choice. It's like a natural motivator or, you know, adrenaline driver, I guess.
Yeah, cool. Wow, that's awesome. All right, I've got another question for you.
Great.
Because James asked two questions, one for a drummer and one for a non-drummer.
Yeah, right.
So it's been in the bank.
Yes.
This is from James Davies,
Okay.
who is the drummer with the Black Jesus Experience.
Yes, amazing. Yep.
And you're an awesome theatre drummer, James.
What elements of the drum kit do you pay the most attention to when you're trying to play with a drummer?
It's a great question. Probably the kick and the snare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like they give me the grounding, I think, when I'm trying to feel. Yeah, like it that gives me lots to work with.
How high do you mix the drums in your fallback?
Oh, that all depends on the space. That all depends on the room, whether I'm using ears or a wedge. If I'm using ears, obviously I'll have them in there, nicely mixed amongst everything else. If it's if I'm just using a wedge, probably not much at all because I can hear everything. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a poor question.
That's fine. But I guess that answers the question.
Only because some people are like, no, I just want to hear me, and I get the ambience from everybody else. And
Yeah.
then, I hate having drums in the fallback.
Yeah, I don't usually. But if it's
if you've got a full in-ears gig,
Yeah.
then you need it. But
Yeah.
How about the bass then? Because if everything's about not everything, but you said often you're writing songs from the bass line and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I think for me, there's no instrument that needs to stand out more than any other. Actually, no, I lie. That's not true. I love hearing probably if I've got keys on the gig or piano on the gig, that's probably the instrument that I need to hear more. So that probably is the one that would stand out. The bass line is important to me. So I'll need it present, but it doesn't need to be forward.
Sure.
In the mix.
Is the piano there? Because that's, technically great to, I don't know, hear the harmony with for your voice.
My bed. It sets the whole, it's the environment that I sing in kind of thing. The warmth.
Yes.
It's not just for pitch, because if it was pitch is obviously important. Yes, I need it for pitch. But I just like feeling what the piano is doing. Yeah.
Nice. All right. I'm glad I persisted with that. That was good. What question would you like to ask our next guest?
What is your post-gig process in terms of how you debrief with others? If you need to debrief with others, do you focus on things that you loved about the gig or your performance, or things that were maybe negative, because that's something that I do, unfortunately. Or even in terms of how you process it for yourself, and how do you use that for your next performance or to inform your upcoming performances.
Really interesting. I know I was thinking when you said that you focus on some of the negatives, growing up and even now, my family will if not live debrief, as soon as the music ends, oh, the mix wasn't that good, or this was not that, and so the last year or so, I've been working pretty hard to try and be all right,
yes,
let's just focus on the positive things.
Yes.
That was a great snare drum sound. The bass player had good energy, and I did well here, or whoever I saw did this good thing. But it doesn't come naturally. I'm very much in the I can think of everything that possibly went wrong everywhere.
100%. And I'm I'm 100% my own worst critic, as I know that's a common thing, but like it's so true for me. I will get off the stage and, you know, apparently it was a great gig and everyone smashed it, but all I can think about is the fact that I stuffed up that run in that song, or that I hit like a flat note in the other song or whatever. Like I'm so hyper focused on the notes that I didn't hit. And then it's like, it doesn't happen every single time. Like there have been a very handful of gigs, like very, very small amount of gigs, where I will be able to enjoy the aftermath of a gig. And like, that was a great, successful show. Yay. But yeah, for me, for some reason, I have to process this. And like my husband always says, he's like, I can't even trust your word anymore, because I've been at gigs where I feel like they're amazing and you always talk down on them. And he's like, so if I'm not at a gig and you say it was a bad gig, I'm like, I don't even know if that's true or if but yeah, I've got to learn to see the positives as well. But in saying that, I think also me being so self-critical, I know I don't encourage it. Like even as a singing teacher, I always tell my students, don't be self-critical, blah, blah, blah. Like self-assess is great, or self-awareness and stuff is good. But, you know, don't be self-critical and don't be so negative. Focus on the positives and enjoy the performance. But I don't practice what I preach, I'll be honest. But I do think it has driven me to perform better and strive for like working harder at my craft and perfecting that if I can.
Yeah, well, it's so hard, right? That's like the one like extremely close similarity with like the sports thing that I was saying at the start. Like you spend your whole life being like, okay, I got to get the technique right for my instrument, and I've got to hit all the right notes, and it's got to be in time, and it's got to like feel the right way, and it's got to like blend with everybody else, and it's all of this like hyper focused, like you said, and like extremely critical on all of it. And you know, you've done it for like 20 years, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, now I'm playing gigs, and I've just got to like not think about all that stuff that I've.
It's so hard.
Yeah,
it's hard, and it's like it can take away from a great experience, you know, like because even something like the Teddy Swims, like I walked off that stage and I felt great about it as a whole, but I already knew. It's like if someone else, if anybody has ever heard me sing an off note or a bad technique, you know, belt or whatever, don't worry, I already know about it. It's like, I already hear you. I know exactly what I did. You don't need to tell me. And I will like mull over that and obsess over that for a while. But no, like I think I've got to learn from things post gig, and like it's a great thing to learn and strive for improvement. But then it's also a great thing to, you know, be grateful for the performance opportunity and, you know, celebrate the show that was.
Absolutely. I know that you do like a lot of vocal work. Like, you know, I've read some, like you did an interview with the Motherlode. And you were talking about like dedicated time every day to like work on your craft. Is that something that you've maintained like for a long time now? I mean, sometimes it's not every single day, let's be honest. Well, I would say most days though, like almost every single day. But you know, as a mum and with different things that happen, like sometimes you just don't get the time. But pretty much most days, I will do, like whether it's vocal, like technique training, or practicing songs, or, you know, like steaming or like doing something that's looking after my vocal folds. I'm often doing something to try and train my voice and do even like agility exercises, and I don't know. Like I said, I'm a bit of a vocal nerd. I get obsessed. Where did like all that stuff come from? Like the technical side of like, okay, I've got to do this.
I had vocal issues when I was a teenager.
Okay.
I had nodules.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
As a
teenager. I already had like bad technique, or just, I had a naturally husky voice. And so because I had some singing teachers who didn't really know how to work with that, bless their hearts. So they would try and teach me all this belty stuff. And at the time I thought, great, this is all I want to do. Because as a teenager, you don't know what's the right technique. So you go with it. Looking back, I'm like, that was not what I needed at that time, training wise. So I developed all these vocal issues. And because I couldn't even get through like, you know, a 3-set wedding gig without losing my voice by the end.
Oh, wow.
I was like, I've got to do something about this. So then I went into like serious like vocal training. And I saw some specialist vocal teachers that really helped set me back on track. And from that moment, because I saw how transformative it was for me, using correct technique, I went, okay, I have to like I want to share this with others. So that's what I started like teaching and stuff. But then I just got obsessed. And when I get obsessed with something, I get really obsessed. So I don't know, that's how I've spent the last like almost 20 years. Like even though that was probably about 20 years ago that I started those specialist kind of training, I've even more so, like I've done more courses and I've trained more and I've done more learning and more research and stuff, and done more singing lessons with different singing teachers with different specialist fields. I don't know. I think it's just that immediate, like I feel it and I understand it, and I've always been fascinated with it. I don't know, you lock in with different fields of interest sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm just really wildly interested in it. So that's where it comes from.
That must be like awesome to learn from you. Sorry.
Oh.
So I stumbled across this. It must be so awesome to learn from you as a vocalist.
Oh, thank you.
Because you have that, like you've got the full spectrum of capacity from like, let's really get nerdy and technical with like the mechanics of what's going on inside your throat.
I hope I'm not too intense for my students. If they're just like, I just wanted to like sing a Taylor Swift song, and I'm like, you will learn how to tilt. No. No. Look, I think that's one of the things that I'm also very hyper aware of as a teacher. Especially, I teach a lot of teenagers, and again, there's a wide spectrum of teenagers that I teach, and even just outside of the school that I teach, professionals that I teach as well. Some people will come in and they're like, yeah, I literally just want to sing this like Olivia Rodrigo song and whatever. And I'm like, cool, I'll teach you the technique to support that. But maybe I won't go into all the technical terms because maybe you're not ready to hear that because you just want to sing. Great, that's fine. But then there'll be other people who are like, they absorb every bit of technical like talk that I use. And I'm like, cool, I love this. So, it all depends on what they want, I guess, what they want out of it. But the actual technique itself doesn't change. It's the way that it's delivered and how far you go into it, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, Michaela, this has been awesome. Thank you so much. I end the podcast with these like 5 quick answer questions.
Great.
So if I can indulge,
please do.
What is your favorite venue to play in Melbourne?
Favorite venue to play in Melbourne? Goodness gracious. I don't know. Oh, this is really hard because it can be, I don't know if it's I'm trying to think of all the venues now. Okay, I'm just going to say Jazz Lab just because I've got some really beautiful memories at Jazz Lab. I've got some really great shows that have happened there. Like that's always a great vibe.
What would be your dream venue to play at?
I would love to do Northcote Theatre. I think it's beautiful with the revamp. I think it's stunning. That would be great.
What is your coffee order?
An oat flat white.
What is your favourite place to get food at after a gig in Melbourne? After a gig in Melbourne,
that's a tough one because I'm gluten free. There's not usually great options for me. So it's either like, let's just go get some like sushi or something, or like I always love I love like the comfort food, something that just like I can celebrate with. So like Mexican, I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a hard question because
fair.
I know a lot of people say like kebabs or HSV. I don't know, like that's the typical pies or whatever, late night pies. But like I can't have any of that stuff. So yeah.
Who is it that's eating a late night pie? I haven't had anyone say
Really?
a late night pie.
Oh,
yet.
like, you know, like from Pie Face or something. I feel like that's been an answer before.
Okay.
I've just heard people go like late. I don't know. Maybe that's just in my circles. I don't know.
All right. And what is one piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
To my younger self, one piece of advice, I suppose, to trust my own voice, my own musicality, and be confident in that, and not be swayed by what I think or what I perceive that other people are expecting from me, or to stay relevant or whatever. Just to always stay true to my voice, because I'm there now.
Yes.
And I was there at the start, but I wish I maintained that all the way through, because then I wouldn't have gone through all of that whirlwind of questioning myself and where I belong.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that like you've persisted and
thank you.
found like different inspirations and worked really hard to like, you know, make what you do happen.
Cool.
It's not without a lot of sacrifice and hard work.
Absolutely,
And it's pretty inspiring, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like, you know, because I met you 10 years ago very briefly, and I've run into you a couple of times.
Yeah.
But like, just in the last 10 years, watching like different things come out at different times, it's been really cool.
Oh, cool.
And then, you know, thanks for sharing some of like the complete journey of.
Thanks for giving me the space to do that. It's been a pleasure.
Well, it's so cool to hear all about it, and like especially like your passion for creativity and like the vocal technique stuff, and just, you know, debriefing some of the things that you know, some people would have watched on the television.
Yeah.
So many different experiences, and they're all really interesting, and I'm glad you've like, I don't know, been true to yourself through all of it. Thanks so much for sharing, Michaela.
Well, thanks for having me. It's been an absolute honor. So yeah, I can't wait.
Thanks for joining us on Our Drummers Musicians. I hope you enjoyed diving into the world of another musician as much as I did. Help us grow by leaving a review and sharing the podcast with your friends, family, favorite artist, or anyone else who might enjoy it. For more info and updates, visit ourdrummersmusicians.com. See you next time.